Okay, so this is, quite a long story already, and I'm gonna rush to I'm gonna just try to like be really boring reading through this. I'm going to get through this, going to finish narrating this story. Sorry, I apologize. Okay. So, June 17th, the hearing came. He was excused for taking the kids away and keeping them from me without a modified court order, excused for stopping the child support payments. Physical custody was given to him, full physical custody. The joint, excuse me, the joint custody was still 50-50. A follow-up court hearing was scheduled for September 30th. I was absolutely gutted, absolutely devastated. There are no words for that kind of pain. No poetry beautiful enough or sad enough to capture what it feels like when the law takes your children from you, when the system you trusted fails you, when everything you fought for is stripped away. Summer 2025. God, I've got something in my throat. The dark. I spent most of the summer just lying down, unable to move. Just existing, bed rotting, zoning out, watching videos on my phone, trying to avoid the deathly pain that surged up whenever I let myself think about losing connection and access to my children. I have no words for this pain, none that do it justice. I knew I couldn't afford to continue staying in the Airbnb. I had to find another solution. I found a shared office space in Ventura and decided to rent a small 89 square foot office. I slept there and showered at the local gym while I figured things out, while I tried to piece together some kind of income. I also sold my car to have funds to live on for a while. Loved that car. Another loss. Those funds ran out eventually. I was able to qualify for unemployment for a little while I figured out legal things and continued looking for another job. Lifelines from across the world. Meanwhile, during this time period, I was very quiet with people, most people I know, about my well-being or the lack thereof, or anything that was going on. I apologize, I have something in my throat. Meanwhile, I'd been in touch with an old friend from high school from Oak Flats High School in Australia, Kelly. I told her what had happened and she offered support. We stayed in touch frequently, emotional support as well as I was terrified about where income was going to come from. I found it debilitating, disabling, dealing with the pain of separation from my kids. Yet I kept promoting my resume, kept trying to develop opportunities for income while trying to navigate legal schmeagle crap. I was scared I was going to end up on the streets. Kelly told me I was welcome to come to Australia, where she lived in Queensland, that she would help me find a job there. Grant also, around the same time, in April of 2025, asked me to come join him in Melbourne. One day when I was at the post office mailing something to the kids, he called me. "Here's what we'll do," he said. "You should get on a plane and come out here at the end of the month." We talked about what it would be like, us living together, with him at his place, how we would set up our life, how much me time we would have, what kind of activities together and individual hobbies and friends we would have. We even talked about Teresa. He said that he would set up a time for us to all meet up and to be friends. He said if she wasn't cool with the idea, then he wouldn't be cool with that either, and would likely distance himself. We talked of marriage in the future after I was established there for a while. He painted a picture. I could come, get settled, stay for a while, maybe get a job, which would help me meet some people and make some friends. I was flattered. I loved the idea, but I was nervous about leaving before an outcome was decided between my kids and me, and before things had been repaired and the relationship reestablished. This caused me a lot of anxiety. I tried to see my kids for Mother's Day and for my birthday in June. I couldn't get through to them. In early July, with things looking bleak after the court hearing outcome and knowing I could attend the follow-up hearing through the online portal, I decided I would try to go to Australia, at least for a while. I needed to rebuild. I needed a place to land, to build up some income reserves, even if I was eventually going to be able to, if I was going to come back and live with my kids. I was still going through severe depression and devastation from all of this. Getting to and from the gym for showering, doing laundry at the local laundromat, it was challenging. Exhausting in ways that went beyond the physical. I got an e-bike. God, I've got something in my throat. Anyway. I got an e-bike in July. I think it was around about July of 2025. Some things had fallen through with going to Australia, and I had to cancel the flight scheduled for early August. Some things had fallen through. Yep. When the flight was rescheduled for I rescheduled the flight for early November. So, Grant and I had basically a disagreement about this thing between he and Teresa. I feel I was probably kept a secret out of the picture. And he wanted to go hanging out with her and go on a day hike and stuff like that. And I wasn't exactly comfortable with it. And then we were supposed to talk about it one weekend. And then suddenly it was just, that didn't happen. This was all incredibly stressful for me. Every canceled plan felt like another door slamming shut. Then my e-bike was stolen. I tried to use some of my last funds to get another one. 2 weeks after purchasing it, that one was stolen too. Yeah, at the Winco in Ventura. Man, there's some shady guys around there. I left it for like 5 minutes. Walked away for just like a couple minutes. It even had an alarm on it. It was still stolen. Anyway. I felt completely at my rope's end, completely at a dead end, and nowhere left to turn. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for the next part.